What is up, everybody? We're going to do another tour here with Mark from Nomadik Customs. We're going to let him introduce himself and get all the good stuff. We're going to be doing a Ford Transit today. I'm so excited because you see so many Sprinters online. We don't get to see that many Fords online, and we're going to have Mark actually explain not only why he does Fords, as well as Sprinters, as well as Pro Masters and all the other vans, but how cool these vans are. I'm a Ford guy myself. That's why I'm kind of hyping it up right now. But let's get more information about Mark, Nomadik Customs, and this completely 100% custom van build behind me. Here we go.
We're building the best vans we've ever built at Nomadik Customs right now. This actually extends all the way out. You get your nice storage box still, and then this then folds forward and then locks into place. So then
Also shower. You did something a little different. I'm assuming that's a shower pan behind you.
yeah, if we take this table out of the way and the lagoon mount is out of the way, then basically this transom shower opens up. Live your own van life.
Mark, we're not going to spend too much time on the exterior because we got this awesome highway right above your shop.
Yeah.
So it's a little noisy, but people that have seen you on my channel before, you are now Slim Mark. You didn't see that one coming, did you?
I didn't, no. No.
Mark, there's been a lot of people that actually...
The wonders of modern medicine. I got very sick for a little bit.
But you know, you're good, you're healthy.
I'm good, I'm healthy, I'm recovered, and yeah.
Well, not only that, actually there were previous videos that people were commenting like, hey, Mark looked like he lost a lot of weight. So this weight loss journey.
I'm eating my broccoli, I'm doing well, I'm being a good boy.
You're doing good.
Let me just tell you this.
Okay.
You're what, 41?
2 now, thanks. I just
42.
had a birthday, yeah.
You hit 50, and stuff starts to change a little bit. I'm a willpower person. I've willpowered my way through life, and then it was just sort of like, oh, you gotta pay attention to this thing that runs you around. So. Well,
you and I have been friends for like 7-8 years now, and you look great. I'm happy for you, and we want you to be healthy because we want to stick around to build these amazing machines behind you.
Well, I appreciate you very much.
So what is Nomadik Customs? What do you do?
So we're a custom builder. We like doing custom vans because we build with you for you. So rather than having a templated van or a van that you're going to live in rather than out of, we make it so that we kind of turn these into more tiny homes. And what's really great about it is we go through the whole entire process of layout, what you're putting into it. We marry all that stuff together, but moreover, we kind of dissect your lifestyle. So when you're in here, you're actually enjoying the experience, because a lot of times people buy these vehicles and then they go out a couple times and they just find themselves annoyed that they have to, you know, make the bed every single night, or the water pump's not working properly or whatever. So we try to do as much as we can to support that.
Like I said at the beginning of the video, this is a Ford Transit. You build Sprinters, Pro Masters. You even have a Nissan NV in your shop.
Nissan NV. We're going to have some truck campers coming in here pretty soon. I mean, we kind of do anything, and then we have a full service department. We've been doing that for about a year or so now. So I see a lot of van companies out there announcing that they do service. We've been doing it for quite a bit of time. We've got probably room for about 6 or 7 service vans at a time, and then we continue with our full builds as well.
How would people get in touch with you? Because Nomadik is spelled a little unorthodox.
Yeah. So you can get a hold of us at www.Nomadik Customs, Nomadik spelled with a K.
I like to say the Nomadik's with a K and the Mark is with a C.
There it is.
Exterior, you actually haven't done much to this van in particular. You offer everything under the...
Yeah, because we're a custom builder, we do everything. So whatever you want on your van, whatever you need in your van, we basically make that happen. We did a suspension lift kit. We put the aftermarket rims, a 17-inch tire, Wild Peak, Falcon Wild Peak, so it's an all-terrain tire. We did the flare spaces. We put in windows, a couple extra lights, obviously the roof rack and the Fiamma, but yeah, not too much on the outside of it. These guys wanted kind of more of an RV than more of an all-terrain, off-piste vehicle. So this is more of a road queen, but they're set up to where they can drive into some national parks and national forest campgrounds and still be nice and comfortable. Probably about 6 to 9 days completely off-grid with their power system components that they have. And then there's 3 points of charge on everything that we do. So you have the shore power, alternator power, and then solar power all kind of coming in. Just a little side note, this is something I get asked a lot, so I'll kind of take the opportunity, but you know, solar power for us is kind of viewed more like a trickle power. It's always going to keep your refrigerator running, it's always going to keep your phone charged in case you're in any sort of emergency situation, but as far as relying on solar to like really power up your entire vehicle, you have to get 1,000 to 1,500 watts up there to really make it worth something. So even though we have 430 watts up on top of the roof, it's really set up to kind of be more of a trickle charger for the power system.
We know it's a Ford Transit, but what is the
yeah,
model
so
of it?
It's the 148 extended short wheelbase. So Transits come in long wheelbase and short wheelbase. High roof, not the ultra high roof, but the high roof. The Transits are the tallest and the skinniest, kind of the hardest to build in because they've got this really long forehead, and so you got to kind of do a lot of different stuff to it, but we've come up with some methods of be able to use some shiplap materials. So you'll see it when we get in there, kind of bend everything down to make it look almost like the bottom of a boat.
Well, let's step on in and actually look to start with the ceiling.
Sure.
Do you actually steam those, or are they a different method?
No, we just do a lot of bracing and then kind of hold it up into place, glue everything in place, and then when we release that, we might do some relief cuts on the back on some of these like
almost
tighter
like a kerf?
angles. Like a kerf, yeah. We just use a thinner material, which then essentially allows for the bend to be able to happen.
What is the wood in the ceiling?
This is actually a really nice clear maple.
Okay.
So they wanted to kind of keep it sort of a lighter Scandinavian design. So we did a lot of that lighter wood and lighter maple color.
I don't see a Max Air fan. That is a different fan.
It is. It sure is.
What is it? You don't want to say what it is?
No, I'd love to. I just don't remember the name of it right now.
Okay.
We just changed. But what I love about this particular fan, and maybe we can readdress this a little bit later and let people know what it is, but they've got the built-in. So with the Max Air fans, you see a lot of these people doing like the magnetic covers.
Yep.
And you start driving down a bumpy road, the thing falls down. They kind of turn into a little bit of a pain in the ass. But one of the nice things about this is that you got this automatic blackout shade.
Is this the first one you put in?
We started using these probably about 3 months ago.
Okay.
Sort of went away from the turn overland auto skylights in the back, and now we're doing more of a Dometic, and it's more of a manual. I'm kind of a guy who likes to keep things more on the analog side of things because electronics break, you know, all that kind of stuff. We were having a lot of issues with like the gears breaking or, you know, some different things kind of coming up in the control boards. So we just moved to doing a manual lock again. Just has a little locking handle that comes down.
And is this fan, is this a manual or is that an automatic?
It's got both the remote control still, but then also, and then it's also got temperature control.
Oh,
and
wow.
it still has reverse flow, so outward and inward flow. So yeah, and then fan control, everything up here, but then also you have that with your remote control as well. We almost have our own little like myth busters here where we actually try to break things and put hammers to things and try to blow things up so that we can really stand behind the products that we do.
I know you, I know Nomadik, so this is not just a standard bench, I presume.
No, we do a couple benches where
sorry for the train horn, everybody. We are in Portland after all.
a little peg system that we put in.
Okay.
Because we're crafty and that's just what my guys
handmade
like to do.
peg, yeah.
Yeah. This actually extends all the way out. You get your nice storage box still, and then this then folds forward and then locks into place. So then You can have like a little chase ottoman. There's a couple cushions in the back there that sit here. And then also this can double as a bed for somebody if they're taking like grandkids or anything along the road with them. Lift this up by the handle, sort of bring it back.
Now, as you're putting that back in, I know this because I know you, but the audience might not know this. That's a painted surface.
Yes.
A lot of builders don't do paint; they do a laminate.
Yeah.
Why do you do painted over a laminate?
I try to make things and use a lot of practicality to things. So what's going to be better for you as someone that's never been in a van build before? Are you going to be more susceptible to having something delam and de-glue because the edges has been, being worn over time, and then it starts to delaminate? Get rubber glue and then squirt it in there with a syringe and put compression on it and try to like fix it, and then it's a thing? Or are you going to want to just take a quick paintbrush and go in there? And then the paint that we use actually has a ceramic in it, so it's a really good paint, scratch resistant. It's a washable surface, but then it's also a surface that you can touch up.
If I remember correctly, you give your clients like a extra paint just in case.
Yeah,
for the
and
road.
then we give them a little quart of paint, but then on top of that, we also give them the paint numbers, what company we used, all that kind of stuff as well.
And you get a lot more color variation.
Yeah, and that's where we get to have a lot of fun because you get to start playing with pillow colors and cabinet colors and upper cabinet colors, and we can have so much variance in all of that. Laminates, there's thousands of laminates too, but unless you're set up with like a vacuum bag and the correct epoxy glues and all that kind of stuff, they're just susceptible to like failing over time.
Well, you actually brought up price. People love asking about price, including cost of the van. Your typical price are usually above $200.
With inclusion of the van costs, yes, but that's also using, really all of that depends on what we're putting into the van. So there's a full arc of products, so you can put in just a little diesel heater for $90, or you can put in a full radiant heat floor hot water system for $15,000. So
right.
It really is kind of comes back to what you and I have talked about many times about live your own van life. It doesn't matter if you're spending, we got a lot of people online making comments about like, all these rich people are ruining van life and stuff. And it's like, just live the life that you want. The people that are spending the money on this are also people that have saved money, thought about this process just as much as the guy that's spending $10,000 on their van. We get to play and have a lot of fun as craftspeople because we have a little bit more expense to it. But in the end, what these guys are ending up with is something where they could literally drive it up into the mountains, flatten the tires, build a deck around it, and have an off-grid house for the next 20 years. It really depends what components you're putting in, the quality of components. Are you doing a 48 volt system, a 24 volt system, or a 12 volt system? When you start kind of compiling all those different things together and putting costs together and everything else, things add up. I mean, you can drop $50,000 on the outside of the vehicle just between suspension, bumpers, racks, lights. I mean, some of those big lights you see on the bumpers of things are like $600 a piece.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And people have 8 of them on the front of their vehicle.
Yeah.
So there, it's really, again, I just kind of always fall back to like live your own van life. Like I just talked to a gentleman, a new client of ours. He's like, my limit of doing a van build is 20 grand. It's like, okay, well, we'll fit what we can and we'll still do the biggest quality products that we can to get you into the van and get you started. And then we have other people that have come in that have been like, I've worked my ass off my entire life. I finally have put together my retirement. I want to spend the next 15 years of my life being able to do something that I love. And so I really want everything in here to be really nice and exactly how I want it. The price thing, we've been hesitant to share that in the past because we've just been so poo-pooed online about people saying these guys are charging way too much money. But in the end, what is really satisfactory is that our clients walk away happy. And whether they spend $325,000 on a van or whether they spend $18,000 a van or $7,000 a van, we're here to help at any point in that financial process.
Speaking of heaters and hot water, I believe you have a VLT in here, Van Life Tech.
I'm gonna shut this really quick.
Well, I was going to ask you to do that, but then I noticed the windows open up here as well. So
we're fine.
we're still going to get a little bit of noise.
An automatic door. Very
Funny, it's an
slow.
automatic door that's slow as
Very
molasses.
slow, yeah. So yeah, that's helpful. But
Nice
yeah,
trim job.
yeah, again, you know, are we going to do this kind of thing on a van that they have a $7,000 budget? Probably not. These guys, the cost of their van was about $163,000, and they were probably about 70 or so into the van itself, and that's about where we average out. And if we start putting a lot of insane things on the outsides and doing all sorts of fabrication, then we can start creeping up from there. Some of the nice little things in this van is they had her brother scrimshaws these tiles, and so they had a couple tiles that they wanted to have in here, so we were able to create some framing. Little piece of driftwood over here was something that's been in their family for about 150 years, and so we were able to kind of come back in here and scribe sort of the outline of it, so that you're not just getting a plaque, but you're actually getting a plaque that's kind of more set up here. So those are all the kind of little custom things that we get to do to kind of really personalize the vehicle a little bit. They chose the layout. Front end sort of sit here. This is actually the toilet box right here, and we have the wrap-on
good old
toilet
wrap
there.
on, yeah.
Yep. And then we showed the bed there, but then they wanted a little dinette area as well. So then we put a little dinette in front of the bed. You have your refrigerator, convection oven, and some storage space here in this column. And then, of course, your galley on this side. And then we have a little inset induction cooktop into the top. And the way that we do things is we ask everybody, like, do you want to be able to take your cooktop in and out? Do you want to be able to take it outside? What do you want to be able to do with it? And so some people decide to just have a flat countertop. Some people decide to have this inset. Some people decide to be able to do both. So on this one, we can actually pull this out and unplug it. And then we have a little drop-in that goes in there. We have the sink here, and then we always put in a little top to that and have an undermount sink, so that you always have the option of being able to have a little stuff here. Faucet's kind of fun because it's got a little auto thing in here, so you can turn it on and off by just waving your hand in front. This actually turns, so you get stream here, and then you get spray here, and then it actually pulls out as well. I find a lot of my clients and customers have already done a lot of research, so they actually found this faucet themselves. He's an executive chef, so they wanted to kind of be able to be in here and really be able to prepare some really cool and good meals. And then they wanted to have a little bit of extra space, so we put our little flip-up table on the end here and use a magnet to kind of hold that into place. Gray water tank and water filtration system and everything in this first bay here.
Is that on a ball valve? Don't you put all of them on ball valves?
Yeah, so our gray water tanks, the way that we kind of design is when you do an undermount tank, you're not able to see how full it is. And quite honestly, when you have lasers pointing to give you water levels, or you have like a float to give you a water level in a tank, they're pretty inaccurate, because even right now we're sitting on kind of an uneven surface. So it might say that it's way fuller right now than it actually is.
Right.
We'll be able to just look at the water tank and be like, oh, we're getting pretty full. We come up here, we hit this switch, a little ball valve opens up underneath, and then your water drains out. And then we also put a manual in there as well. So if a black bean or something makes it down the sink and gets into the ball valve and blocks it, you can still go in and hit the manual valve beforehand and still drain the tank out. So we kind of try to do everything analog and automatic. And then down here we have just a space to put kind of larger appliances, a space here for your garbage and recycling, kind of some larger drawers for dishware, you know, a lot of the different stuff in here. They took it on a little shakedown tour for a couple days and then brought it back to us with some questions and stuff. So that's why there's a bunch of just random stuff everywhere.
I also know that like you offer a multitude of things to your clients. So this is your multi-use oven and induction.
Yeah, so again, we try to really listen to our clients. They're the ones that have the story. They're the ones that have all the things that they thought about. We offer a bunch of things that we've done and approved. So like the Brava oven, the Breville oven. These guys did their research and decided for their own uses that they really wanted a convection oven, convection microwave oven. And they did the research and chose this oven themselves. So this is actually the first time that we've ever installed this particular brand of oven, but it's something that they vetted and that they wanted. And so we try to listen to that as a custom builder, and we don't limit people to what we just use. We want to be able to get you into, you're paying us to build you what you want.
All right, so we got seating, we've got kitchen galley, cooking area.
Yeah.
We've got heat and hot water in the Van Life Tech radiant floor heating.
Yep.
We've got, we're gonna go over power next and shower. So what do we have for power? And you just undid the cap to show us.
Yeah, so this is a 24 volt system. We like going with 24 volts because it's only one step down, and again, to kind of less is more. When you do a 48, you have to kind of step it down twice to get it down to a 12 volts to run things like your refrigerator, your lights, that sort of thing. What's nice about going higher in voltage, if we had an 800 amp hour system, we'd have 8 batteries. We have wires that were probably about an inch thick to be able to compensate and carry that kind of power. We like going with the 24 because you can consolidate a lot more into a smaller space, and you can make your power system take a lot less of a footprint, but then also your wires now are only going to be about 3/4 of an inch instead of an inch to an inch and a quarter. 24 volt system in here, 200 amp hour batteries, which translates as 400 amp hours at 24 volt, 800 amp hours at 12, which essentially drops into around 10.2 kilowatt hours. Or 10.2 kilowatt
when we
hours.
start talking 24 and 48 volt, we start talking watt hours, so it is a little over 10,000 watt hours is what you just mentioned.
Right. All your appliances and everything that you use on 120 are all based off of 1 hour time. So if you have a 700 watt microwave and you ran that microwave for an entire hour, it would subtract 700 watts, but you're never going to use a microwave for an entire hour.
No, you use it for 2 minutes,
or like a
30
Instant
seconds.
Kettle, you know, it might be 900 watts, but you're only using that Instant Kettle for like 2 minutes. What's nice about the Victron system is that it's very integrated, and so you're able to see how many watts are coming in your solar yield. You're able to see how many watts we're using at 12 volt, how many watts we're expending at 120 volts. So you can see all those AC and DC loads on here. We can remote access this, so if it for some reason glitches and goes back to factory settings and stuff, we can get on the computer and actually remotely set your band back to its own settings, and that way you don't have to go through that entire process. We have that whole support network in place.
On a van that's over 200,000, it's very important to obviously have top of the line heat, top of the line electrical. You have a really nice toilet down here in the wrap-on toilet. Also shower. You did something a little different that I noticed, I think.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's a shower pan behind you.
Yeah, so this is a shower pan, and then we have a little transom shower in the back here. So if we take this, if we take this table out of the way, and then this transom and the lagoon mount is out of the way, then basically this transom shower opens up, pulls up, and then we have the shower curtain comes up and it attaches to these little eye hooks up here with the S-binder hooks. And so you just pull that into place, zippers on the front, and you can just kind of take a shower right in the middle of the aisle here. Yeah, on this one we have 28 gallons. So on average, when you're at home and you take like a 7 to 10 minute shower, you're using about 8 to 10 gallons of water. So you're not going to take a 20-minute shower in here.
I'm assuming you have like a low flow shower head. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the shower that's
And then
down there.
There's a switch on and off so
Yeah.
that you can use that water as well.
A lot of it is educating the client on how to actually use the stuff in here properly.
Yeah, and that's why we do a shakedown tour with everybody. So we work with a couple of campgrounds out on the Oregon coast. So we sent these guys out to a campground for 4 days. They pushed all the buttons and then twisted all the knobs and did everything, and came back with 3 pages of questions, and then they were like, oh, well, this is all just simple stuff. So then we kind of guided them through everything, and now they're ready to drive across country today, actually.
Wow, okay. That's why we're going to finish up this tour. Bed is either a queen or a full.
It's a queen size bed, which is the width going this way, so 60 inches deep. And then we're usually somewhere between 66 and 68. With the flare spaces, we get to be a little bit more, or like an RV queen. A couple other nice little details is, my guys are just banging it out of the park. We're building the best vans we've ever built at Nomadik Customs right now. All these nice little double trim rings. They put this all up here so that you can have some little spots, but then also put these little pieces in so that if you wanted to put like a taller good in there, like oils and stuff, you're not going to be able to kind of drop it in to here. So we made these little removable pieces so that once you get your olive oil and whatnot in there, you can just put that back in to lock everything into place.
That's
So
cool. That's a cool
it's
idea.
all these little details that my guys think about. We've all had the experience of being in vans and trying things out, and it's those little tiny details that make you not enjoy this experience.
Right.
Because all of a sudden you're trying to put things away and you can't, and then you got to put it in a drawer, and then the oil bottle opens up and spills oil all over everything. And those kind of things are what start turning people off. Or you always see the YouTube videos of like top 5 mistakes we always made and stuff. So we put a lot of thought process into what we do as far as like how the usage of the van is going to be utilized.
All right, so before we go outside and we show the back of the van, you said these people are Floridians. Is there an air conditioning unit in here?
Yeah, so we have a 24-volt cruising comfort air conditioner,
Wow.
which is condenser and fans are mounted up underneath the vehicle, and then the blower and condenser are inside. So actually, this is our heater vent right here. And
Okay.
then on this side, we have our air conditioning vent. And then this is little switch here is the ball valve for the tank underneath. So when they get done taking a shower, they just hit that and it expels the water underneath. On a Ford Transit roof, which is hard because that nose dives so far in the front, you lose that first probably close to 2.5 feet,
Yeah.
30 inches or so. You can't put anything up there. So we can't push the Max fan all the way to the very front because it would be sitting at a weird angle. So on the Transits especially, it's nice to have that undermount air conditioning unit. Now, when you're talking like a 170 extended and you've got the roof space to be able to put your Starlink and your skylight and roof boxes and solar panels and racks and all that other stuff, then yeah, it makes sense to maybe have a rooftop unit.
All right, let's go outside
Yep.
and show the back. Good old Pacific Northwest. You never know what's going to happen. We were cloudy when we started this video, and now it's bright and sunny, and it's
Yeah.
friggin' like 80 degrees.
48 degrees this morning. It's supposed to get to 83 today.
Yeah, good old PNW, everybody. Yeah, talk to me about the back. I mean, it looks like it's pretty simple, but there's usually never anything
Yeah, I mean,
simple
we
about
have
it.
our water tank, climate control. We've got our little transom shower. This is the same shower that's on the inside. So you have your mixing valve and your shower head right there. We did a couple little details on the back here and actually did like a nice trim around here. We also have a little camera that's connected to a front camera, so it's got like the traffic camera recording device on there.
I didn't show it on video, but there's actually, this client has a lot of security measures in here.
They do.
They have different locks than your standard lock, I noticed.
Yeah.
I'm not saying where it is. I'm not going to show it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, they have like a manual key locks, deadbolts.
Yeah.
They also have like a little Faraday bag because I had a friend of theirs buy one of these vans, and the guys go around with little wands and they can tell when the people just leave their key fob inside the vehicle.
Wow.
And they can see when that happens, and when they do, they can get on the computer, start the vehicle, and take it. So they have like a little Faraday bag. So they're very smart. They've done a lot of research. They've been thinking about this a really long time. You know, we have our breaker panel and everything that we do for the electrical system and electrical boxes here. Of course, lots of ventilation for that. We have our 500-pound door slide that comes out. And so you can be on top of this thing, and of course, couple spots for the awning mounts and all that stuff to go as well. So, and then we have our own bug screens and stuff that we do, so that actually rolls down all the way. And so,
Yeah, you also have the front cab. You have the triple door.
yeah, the insulated partition,
Yeah.
which usually keeps about a 30 to 40 degree difference between cab and cargo space of the van.
I got a question for you before you even shut that.
Sure.
The pass-through, isn't that where the mount is for the Lagoon?
No, because Lagoon came out with a little single mount. It's about 6 inches and about 1 inch wide. And so we're able to kind of keep that right in the very top there.
Really? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet.
When you shut that, you were going to say
I was
something.
just going to say, you know, these guys opted to just have a spare tire on the back. But we've done a lot of vans where we have a platform and boxes and all that kind of stuff too. And
Yeah, you like
so-
to go with Flatline. Flatline is a local company. They're actually really
They just
awesome.
have the most options.
Yeah.
So we really like them a lot. And plus they're a local company. We work with them a lot, and we actually have them come over here and they do a lot of their templating and stuff off our vans.
Mark, where can we find you, and what's, Nomadic, everything, the whole
So
blah,
you
blah,
can
blah.
find us on Instagram, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on YouTube, and that's all under Nomadik Customs, Nomadik with a K. And then you can also find us online. We got some really exciting things that I'll be able to share with you over the next couple months coming up. And then of course, again, we do full service and repair, as well as full builds, partial builds, progress builds. So we're kind of full spectrum on all of our services.
And you're right here in downtown Portland.
We are definitely in downtown Portland. We moved shops this year. We ended up with a beautiful facility, still underneath a bridge. We're still next to the river, but now we got bike path and way better lunch options.
Way better lunch options. All right, Mark, well, thanks again, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Jarrod.